Hello everyone and welcome back to Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror. I'm Pete.
And I'm Viv.
That was a bit of a stutter there. And when we had just left off, or when we last left off rather, we had just been escaped upriver on a boat that was subsequently bombed and shot by the police to show us how level-headed they are. And so now we find ourselves here with no sign of Miguel or Nico. So, yeah, we should probably have a look around.
Looks nice.
The contraption consisted of a crude wooden wheel with wooden slats. The machine was broken.
Okay, let's address the most obvious thing here. The treehouse.
I'd always wanted a treehouse like that when I was a kid.
It is an impressive treehouse.
Hello? Anyone home?
Yeah, good job there, George. Yeah, so with the organ music playing, we can't, no one in there can hear us, and George isn't climbing up anytime soon, so we have to find some other way of getting attention.
Set fire to it.
The water
Do you
wheel
know
was
something?
built to provide a natural
No,
source
don't
of
say
power. The wheel had a rim of roughly beaten iron.
You are surprisingly close to it.
Oh, God.
Well, it's not setting fire to the treehouse itself.
The iron rim of the water wheel would have torn the skin from my fingers if I touched it. It was a pile of damp leaves.
You know, given a spark or
It was a
two.
pile of damp
Yeah, you
leaves.
said that. Given a spark or two, they would burn quite nicely, I think. So what do we have that could make a fire?
I'll be able to.
Okay, so I can't remember if this has come up yet, but this little statue of Tezcatlipoca is made of flint,
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know.
which means...
As I held the fetish to the iron rim of the wheel, a shower of sparks cascaded onto the leaves.
But they don't quite want to catch fire, so we need a bit more tinder. So what do we have? What do we think, everybody?
Coal.
No, that actually makes sense, but it's not quite the answer.
Oh.
Did we try it? No. George is flummoxed by it.
Oh.
Something dry and flammable.
Oh, the underwear.
No, afraid not.
Really? That would
Yeah.
make so much sense. It would probably catch light really fast.
Because it's hot.
Oh, so poor. Oh,
Okay, I'll leave now. Just let
Leave,
myself out.
just
Bye,
go.
everybody. I'm just going to leave now. No coming back from that, really. Okay, let's just put this laboured joke out of its misery. We just need to burn one of the two pieces of paper we have. It doesn't matter which, or really matter which one, because we don't need to use the other at any point, but I think if memory serves, we can talk to people about the eclipse again if we have that, so we don't need the bank statement again. So,
do we not?
Nope.
Okay.
It's basically
The
just
bank statement was just what I needed to kindle the damp leaves.
Yep, basically just needed to find the clues to get us to Marseille, and then after that it's just kind of along for the ride.
Okay.
Okay, let's try it again.
As I held the fetish to the iron rim of the wheel, a shower of sparks cascaded onto the leaves.
One viable smoke signal later.
Quick, man! Put out that fire! I've got a sick woman up here!
Sorry, Father, but I needed to attract your attention.
Who are you? And what do you want?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
I'm Father Hubert. I don't suppose you speak French.
Huh? Why do you want to know that?
I found a young woman with a fever by the river this morning. The poor girl is close to death, and there's nothing I can do for her but pray. I don't understand her, but I think she's speaking French.
Hang on. That must be Nico.
So, it looks like we found Nico, but it doesn't look good.
It was Father Hubert.
Yes, it was. Right, we should probably ask about Nico before we go any further.
That's my girlfriend you've got in your treehouse. What's the matter with her?
She's been bitten by a venomous river snake.
But can't you do something for her? There's a cure, isn't there?
I ran out of penicillin and morphine years ago, but the local people speak of a root which they believe will counteract the poison.
Okay, so obviously we need the root.
Where can I find this root?
I don't know, but maybe the shaman of the village can tell us.
A village nearby, perchance.
Will you show me the way to the village?
Me? Oh, but I can't.
Can't. Nico's life depends on it.
You're right. Of course I should, despite my own guilt and shame. But I can't go as a representative of God with a priest's collar.
A creased collar? You mean you'd put your personal attire higher than the life of a sick woman?
I will not go to that village looking anything but my best.
Give me your collar. I'm sure I can find a way to press it.
Thank you, my son. In the meantime, I must contemplate my sermon.
There was obviously more than a creased collar bothering the priest.
Yeah, even by adventure game standards, that is pretty damn petty.
Yeah.
A wooden box was connected to the nearby water wheel. It seemed to be working just fine.
Considering we just almost set fire to it recently. Very pleasant stream, isn't it?
The sound of running water always made me need the toilet.
Shall we jump in? Go on, jump in.
I briefly considered diving into the crystal waters. Very briefly.
Okay, fair enough then.
Perfect for a game of poo sticks. It would have been a shame to tamper with the elegant bridge.
It's such a shame we don't have anything we could use as a stick. Well, we do have a priest's collar though, right?
It was Father Hubert's collar. He wanted me to press it for him.
Okay, so we need to find a way to uncrease the collar.
It was a large wooden cross.
There's no point picking that up. Okay, so we know that George can fit a lot in his pockets, but this cross even gives him pause for thought.
Really?
Yeah.
It was heavy. I guess that was intentional.
Yeah, so there's nothing we can do with it except to use it on one particular object. But we can have a look around at that.
2 round stones were carefully balanced on a wooden structure. The stones were too heavy to turn by hand.
So if we had a bit of leverage...
The leverage from the cross allowed me to turn one of the stones, but the other one remained stationary.
Okay, so we need some sorry, no what happened there. So we need to find some way to move both of them at the same time. What could this be, I wonder?
Interwoven vines made up what looked like a drive belt.
What a coincidence.
This happens to be there.
That vine rope could be useful. It was a length of rope made of twisted and knotted vines.
So I imagine the skills we picked up from watching Ultar mending his truck back in Syria should come in handy. Don't know what happened there. Anyway.
The vine provided a drive belt to connect the two stones.
Okay, so clearly Father Hubert already has this set up for the purpose of ironing his clothes, or at least he knows that it's there. I think the least he could do is tell us about it, rather than leave us to figure it out for ourselves.
Yeah, and possibly help.
Now I had the contraption working.
One old-fashioned mango later, we have what we need to iron his collar.
So there I was, hundreds of miles from civilization, doing the housework for a priest. It's a strange world.
Another proud moment in the legend of George Stobart.
Yeah.
The press worked surprisingly well on the collar. Two rounds.
The collar.
It was Father Hubert's collar.
I want to talk to him again before getting up back. This way. I suppose we'd probably ask a bit more about himself.
Yeah.
What are you doing out here in the jungle?
God's work. Not quite the destination I had in mind when I set out, but, well, you know what they say? Mysterious ways and so on.
You didn't plan to end up here?
No. I was on my way to the miners' camp in the north. I was stuck here when my boat capsized on the river.
That's exactly what happened to me. How long have you been here?
11 years.
Whoa.
So yeah, mysterious ways indeed. But anyway, here's the collar.
Here's your collar, Father.
Thank you, George. You'd probably think it a little odd of me to make such a fuss.
Oh, no. If I'd been living in the jungle for 11 years, I'd be completely screwy, too.
Screwy? Yes.
Leave it to
perhaps
George
I
to tell
am.
it how it is.
Ever since my last visit to that village.
Now, what could possibly have happened on his last visit to the village?
Do you want to tell me what happened at the village?
I forgot my vows. I let myself be overwhelmed by the beauty of this unspoiled paradise, and in a moment of weakness, animal passion reared its rampant head.
You know, you should be writing romantic novels.
So things got a bit out of hand, shall we say?
Did you experience some kind of physical liaison at the village?
Yes, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I found myself doing the monkey dance.
Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge.
I've never heard it called that before. And I didn't want to pry any deeper into Hubert's murky past.
Okay, so let's change the subject.
Now you've got your collar back, will you take me to the village?
I still not finished my sermon.
Look, Father, I still don't know why you're so reluctant to visit that village, and it's none of my business. Whatever the reason, it can't be more important than saving Nico's life.
You're right. I must be crazy. We must make haste if we're to reach the village before nightfall.
By the time we reached the village, it was sunset.
Hello, boys. Glad to see you're still wearing the underpants. What?
They're the best Christmas present we ever had, Father. Mine are too tight.
Well, we all have our cross to bear. This is George. He has a request to make. I'm afraid I can't stay. Good luck, George.
That's a relief. I never feel comfortable with him about. Me neither. These damn pants keep riding right up my butt. So, what do you want?
Well, direct and to the point.
My girlfriend has been bitten by a snake.
So, everyone in my family has been bitten by snakes.
I was bitten by a dormouse once.
She's real sick. I hoped your wise man might have medicine.
Wise man? You must have the wrong village.
The wrong village, you say?
Father Hubert said there was a wise man in the village who could help me.
No, there's no one of that description here.
Ooh, he must mean the old man, the shaman.
I thought he just made up all those stories he tells. I never thought of him as being wise.
Now, that is not a flattering picture of the shaman.
I'd like to see the shaman, please.
You can't just go walking in there and demand to speak to the shaman.
Why not?
You have to observe the protocol. The shaman demands tribute.
Tribute? You mean like a gift?
That's right.
The eternal question. What do you give a man who has everything?
That's easy. Cash.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably see if we can appeal to sympathy first of all.
Are you going to stand by and let my girlfriend die?
Of course not. What do you think we are, savages?
We'll start the preparations for a cremation feast.
Well, that is one way of doing things, I suppose.
Give me a clue. What kind of things does your shaman like? Does he have a hobby, a favorite sport?
You insult us. The shaman lives on a higher plane.
Oh, right. Maybe a book would be more suitable. Or a jigsaw puzzle? Don't you just hate choosing presents for people you don't know?
So, here's everything we've got here. What do you think he would like?
I have no idea. It could be any of those things, or none of them.
The answer may surprise you.
Here, he'll like these biscuits.
If you say so.
Okay, that is taking the mic. The size of that pocket, this
So,
giant box
yeah.
came out of
Is
it.
this your first visit to our planet?
I am from the same planet as you. I'm from California. Why, we're practically neighbors.
He liked the biscuits, especially the black ones. He wants to know if you've any more.
You made short work of them. Well, we can't just offer the empty box, but he probably wouldn't appreciate it. But we can offer him other things.
Would your wise man have any use for lipstick?
Not in that color.
Haven't you anything in black?
Of course I don't.
That was in Nico's goth phase, presumably.
This stone is what brought me here.
That's a spirit stone. I wouldn't touch it if I was you.
You're right. It could be cursed.
This cone could have 1,000 uses.
Yeah? Like what?
A protective helmet?
I don't think so.
See, that's always the downside of saying something has 1,000 uses. The next logical question is always, name one. And that's where the whole thing falls down. Right, maybe the worm?
Look, I know it's not much, but I want your shaman to have this.
Do you expect him to eat that?
He's an old man, you know. He might choke.
Well, he managed the biscuits okay.
There wasn't much point in sending the empty box back to the shaman. The guards looked as fierce as anyone can, wearing only their underpants.
Excuse me. Okay, so the way we present gifts from here on is we have to think of the gift and put it in the empty dog biscuit box and hand it back to them, which is a bit of a roundabout way of doing things, I know. Anyway, any suggestions?
Oh. What would be edibles?
No, not necessarily.
Really? Oh.
It's basically we basically just use the box to smuggle it in, so it can be anything.
Okay.
Yeah, a lucky piece of coal, perhaps.
Maybe.
I put my lucky piece of coal in the empty box. Here, I found some more of those biscuits for the shaman.
Well, the guy did say he liked the black ones.
I'll give them to him.
What do you do for entertainment here in the jungle?
We make documentaries. Me and Tabtic, we've appeared in 7 TV films and an article in National Geographic.
Oh yeah, me and David Attenborough are like that.
Yeah.
The shaman didn't want the black rock.
What else could we give him?
dart?
The dart.
I dropped the poison dart into the box with just a little itch of misgiving.
Oh, maybe it's wrong.
Here, I found some more of those biscuits for the shaman.
I think that's gonna work again.
I'll give them to him.
Yeah, you think he'd notice the box feeling a lot lighter, wouldn't you? I'm run out of conversations now.
It didn't work.
What?
Your feeble attempt to assassinate the shaman by concealing a dart within this box.
Yeah, so basically everything we have, more or less, can go in the box.
Does anything work?
Yes, there is one thing.
I put the statue in the empty box.
This isn't it, by the way.
Oh.
Here, I found some more of those biscuits for the shaman.
I'll give them to him. The shaman said to give you back this statue.
He didn't want it?
He's already got one.
Of course, of course.
Oh, is it the pants?
Shall we find out?
Well, they seem to like
Mm-hmm.
think pants are special.
I tucked the bright red panties in the empty box. Here, I found some more of those.
Yes, and so on and so on and so on.
The shaman was pretty mad about those panties.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend him.
You didn't. He was disappointed that they didn't fit.
Right, different strokes. Right. Any other ideas?
The worm.
It's his new best friend.
I dropped the tequila worm into the empty box. Here, I found some more of those.
Oh, get on with it.
He didn't want the little worm. He's a vegetarian.
Oh. This is tough.
Yeah, he's picky. Any other thoughts?
Give up.
Well, remember that they said this was a spirit stone.
Yeah.
I put the Mayan stone in the empty box.
There's the music cue kind of giving away that we're onto something.
Here, I found some more of those biscuits for the shaman.
Oh, get on with it.
The shaman wants to talk to you.
I hoped he would. Well, it's been nice to talk to you guys.
To be honest, I kind of want a spin-off game just about these two.
Yeah. Their documentary making.
Yeah.
It was a basket full of rocks. I couldn't think of any reason to steal the villagers' rock collection.
To bang them together, obviously.
The woman was grinding a sticky mess of corn in a bowl. That woman certainly wasn't the reason I'd come to the village. The man was busily weaving a cloth. That man wasn't the one I'd come looking for. It was the focal point of the village, the communal cooking fire.
Yes,
The fire was too hot to approach, even if I'd wanted to.
I don't think there's much more to see over here, but... yep, there we go.
The old guy was obviously the shaman of these people. Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Please, sit down. Welcome, George.
Thanks.
It has long been foretold that a white man would bring the Coyote Stone to this village.
Okay, so here's our topics. We could potentially have put the lipstick in the box as well and given that to him, and he would have kept it.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
well, we can offer it to him now if we want.
Okay.
Shall we?
I don't suppose this would be any use to you.
It sure would. This wax on a stick will change our lives.
What do you want it for?
To decorate our bodies for the monkey dance.
I'm sure Nico will appreciate that.
Yes.
Speaking of Nico,
My girlfriend's been bitten by a snake.
And you want me to heal her?
That's the idea. Can you do it?
I'm not sure. My gums aren't what they used to be.
Leaving aside that pleasant image, shall we continue with that or ask about Father Hubert?
Continue with me.
Listen, my girlfriend's in a coma. Please, old man, give me the root.
What root?
That one.
Father Hubert told me of a root which could cure the bite of the river snake.
There's nothing sacred with these people. That was our secret, known only to members of my tribe.
If that root is my chance of saving Nico's life, then I want it. Fast.
There is time yet, George Stobart. Time to learn why you were called here.
Shall we ask about Father Hubert or continue with the route?
Father Hubert and then the route.
Why is Father Hubert so reluctant to visit the village?
I don't know. He used to come here a lot, but then he just stopped. You'd think he'd want to spend some time with his kids.
Wait, what?
His kids.
Did you say Father Hubert has kids?
3 girls and 5 boys by
Wow.
my reckoning.
He got
All
busy.
conceived in the same week at the Feast of the Monkey Dance.
How's the sun?
Fine. If I listen to your story, then will you give me the root?
The eel travels far, but still returns to the place of his spawning.
And
That
look,
doesn't answer the question.
I'm running a tight schedule, so can you skip the riddles?
Many years ago, when the world was young, the great god and king Quetzalcoatl was defeated by trickery and deceit. His enemy Tezcatlipoca took his place as leader and demanded terrible human sacrifices. A group of loyal priests found a way to trap Tezcatlipoca. But his powers were so great, they knew he would not remain trapped forever. His time of incarceration would end with the eclipse, which marked the close of the 5th age. So the priests fashioned 3 obsidian stones which contained the power to seal the mirror for all time. But before the stones could be put in place, they were seized by the invading Spanish.
But how did they trap Tez, the evil god?
They built a pyramid which they told Tezcatlipoca was dedicated to him. At its center, they fashioned a huge mirror of perfectly smooth obsidian. Luring him into the pyramid with praise and flattery, they used sorcery to ensnare him in the mirror.
So, remember, we spoke to Ubier back in Quaramonte. He mentioned the eclipse that's coming up marks the end of the 5th age.
Ah, okay,
That
yeah.
doesn't sound good.
No.
Right, so we can talk about the eclipse, the stone, or Tezcatlipoca.
Maybe eclipse.
There's an eclipse of the sun due very soon, isn't there?
Quite right.
Correct. The eclipse which marks the ending of the 5th age will come before the next full moon.
Less than 2 weeks. I didn't really believe that Tezcatlipoca would return, but I figured Karzak's plans were in some way connected.
Yeah, spoiler alert, they are. Right, what next?
Is that the stone?
Yep, this
Yeah.
is the stone here, yep.
What happened to the stones?
They were taken by the Spanish to the coastal town that is now called Quaramonte City. Only 1 stone reached Spain. The other 2 fell into the hands of buccaneers. The Jaguar stone was captured by an English captain, El Draco. The Eagle stone was taken by a pirate called Ketch. The 3rd stone, the Coyote stone, reached Spain safely. That is the stone in your possession.
So now we have 2 other stones to ask about.
Yeah.
I think that's the Eagle stone, and that would be the Jaguar stone.
Oh, eagle stone.
Tell me more about the Eagle Stone.
The stone was loaded onto a galleon with many valuable artifacts plundered by the Spanish. But shortly after leaving harbor, a terrible squall blew up and damaged the ship. The ship was intercepted by a bloodthirsty pirate, Captain Ketch. Ketch made short work of overpowering the crew, stealing the treasure, and sinking the Spanish ship.
Where's the Eagle Stone now?
Nobody knows for sure. Ketch retired from piracy and bought an island in the Caribbean.
Yeah, he just casually bought his own island.
Yeah.
Right, so moving on to the Jaguar Stone.
Tell me more about the Jaguar Stone.
Many centuries ago, the port of Quaramonte was entered by a ship flying Spanish colors. The captain, the man known as El Draco, sent soldiers ashore. Only when the soldiers arrested the mayor did the people realize that they were English privateers. The mayor was held hostage while the soldiers looted and plundered the city. Amongst the treasures they stole was the Jaguar Stone.
Interesting.
Where is the Jaguar Stone now?
I suppose El Draco took it back to his homeland, across the Great Sea.
To England.
Oh.
Right. Shall we ask about Tezcatlipoca before moving back to the Jaguar, or the Coyote Stone, rather?
Yeah.
Suppose I was to believe there was anything in your story, other than the rambling delusions of a seriously wacky old man. Suppose I was to swallow it, hook, line, and kitchen sink. What then?
Then you would see that the fate of the human race rests upon your shoulders.
Any dramatic much?
What do I do when I find the stones?
Bring them here to me, and I shall prepare you. The stones must be taken to the heart of the pyramid. Only there can they be used to seal the gate by which Tezcatlipoca will return to this world.
So yeah, at this point it turns into a good old-fashioned MacGuffin hunt. There's 3 of them, and we need to find them.
Can you show me the way to the pyramid of Tezcatlipoca?
Not until you possess all 3 stones.
Oh. Okay.
Always the way.
The route?
Now do I get the root?
Here, take it. Make haste if you wish to save the girl's life. The hummingbird sings to me of death to come.
Now you're talking in riddles again. Listen, is it okay if I crash here? I've got no chance of finding my way through the jungle in the dark.
You're welcome, but you probably won't get much sleep. Tonight's the night of the monkey dance.
I don't know if I want to stay tonight, but that's too fair.
I left the village at dawn and stumbled back through the jungle in a post-party daze. It was just like sneaking back to my parents' house when I was younger. Except Oakland didn't have monkeys or parrots.
More's the pity, I say.
It was the root which would cure Nico's snake bite. The ladder led up to Father Hubert's treehouse.
So now at least we can get up to the treehouse.
Yep.
Father Hubert, a man with a mission.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive he managed to construct his own pipe organ in a
Yeah.
treehouse, isn't it?
Absolutely. And
I've
it's
got the
pitch
route, Hubert.
perfect.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Give it to the gal.
Right. The shaman thinks you should go visit your kids.
So, he told you.
Look, Hubert, having an extended family is nothing to be ashamed of. If I was you, I'd be ashamed of not being there for them.
It was that damned monkey dance that led me astray.
Yeah. A sight like that must be difficult to forget.
The monkey dance made me do it, officer.
Yeah.
That organ represented years of painstaking work. I
Exactly.
wasn't in the mood for playing the organ. It was Father Hubert's personal altar.
Well, like everything else, it's very
I
impressive.
thought it best not to defile the altar while Hubert was looking after Nico. I wondered what Hubert had used to make his candles.
It's a good point, actually.
I didn't have any use for Hubert's candles.
Oh.
The snake bite had affected Nico badly.
She looks awful.
Mm-hmm. He's in a bit of a state, all right.
Nico, I brought you this root.
Oh.
No way was she going to be able to chew the root. I needed to give her the antidote in a more digestible form.
Chew it and spit into her mouth.
Yeah.
Like a baby bird.
Outside the doorway, the ladder led back down to terra firma.
Yeah, that probably would be the easiest way, but yeah, you know George, he doesn't do anything unless he can stretch it out to make a puzzle out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need to find a way to squeeze the root a bit.
Healthy press.
Quite right. Same again, just need a bit of leverage.
The juice from the root was soaking into the ground.
Oh no.
Okay, so we've got the right idea, but we just need some way to collect the fluid. So what do we got that we could
The
use?
cup. The tin cup.
Yep. The Tin Man's hat.
Yes.
The cone was ideal as a makeshift container.
I'll use it again.
As the liquid was squeezed from the root, it collected in the cone. The cone contained the precious antidote.
There we go, just what the doctor ordered.
Look, Hubert, the antidote.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get him, go, quickly.
Nico. Here, drink this.
Oh, George, it's horrible.
Just swallow it down. Okay, try and rest now, darling. You'll need all your strength when we go after the other 2 stones.
Other stones? What other stones? What have you gotten me into now, Dr. March?
The patient is sounding more like her old self already. Nico recovered quickly from her fever. To save time, we decided to split up and look for each stone independently. I traced the pirate Ketch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called Ketch's Landing.
Yeah, pretty impressive place, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much would he have had to amass from piracy to be able to buy an entire island?
Oh, no.
The guy was studying a large document.
Yeah, I'm sure he's completely trustworthy. Yeah, so anyway, from this point on in the story, it it's divided more or less equally between George and Nico. So starts off with George here, then swaps to Nico later on, and back and forth as the story progresses. So yeah, this is the next main act of the story kicks off now. So I think that's as good a place as any to call all this episode to a close. Now that we know the grand scheme thing we're shooting for, so. We'll begin hunting down the rest of the stones next time. Until then, say goodnight, Viv.
Good night, Ruth.
Good night, everybody.